just while you're talking about the sort of transfer things, does the injury to Sander Berger maybe mean that John Lundstram isn't going anywhere this January because it was kind of up in the air?
Well, there's been no inquiries for John Lundstram to me or the chief exec, so he's still under contract. If somebody does come in, then we have to assess that, because obviously they're going to come in with a fee, and the club will have to assess that. Is it worth doing that or not? Of course, losing Zander is a huge blow for us, and obviously John plays in that position. So, if an inquiry comes in or an offer comes in, but it hasn't so far, my phone hasn't rang once regarding John. So, I don't think John moves in this window, and that's the reason he's been involved with us. His attitude has been good, and that's the reason that I don't think John will go until his contract runs down at the end of the season.
With every injury, big one though this is, it provides an opportunity for, say, Norwood or Osborne to come back into the team to re-establish their form, doesn't it?
Yeah, I just want, from my point of view, which I've told the players, I just want somebody to grab the shirt and say it's mine, and not let go of it. And I think the criticism of the players from me is that not enough of them have done that this season. Nobody's gone and grabbed the shirt, and you can imagine the amount of times that I'm looking at that team, Andy, whether it's here at Shirecliffe or whether I'm at home. It's always in me, and always thinking about me. What is the best for the football club? What is the best team I can put out? And I'd love to be in a position where somebody says, that's me, I'm sorted, I'm the one, I'm sticking my hand up, and I'm playing at a level that is good enough for me not to be a consideration for the manager to change the side. I'd love that. And there hasn't been enough of that, Andy, in my opinion, to the players, and they know that and they understand that. There's always an opportunity on a Monday to Friday to stick their hand up and say, he's trained well. We look at every aspect of what happens at the football club, from a Monday to Friday to training sessions to players, what they do, and then when they go out and play in the first team. And I want those problems. And I've always said they're good problems to have. And the problems that I'm having now is because of not enough people. So whoever comes in, plays well, then I'm not going to leave them out if they play well enough. And now is a time. Obviously, off the back of the Man U game, there was improvements. Obviously, at the back of the Brighton game, there's improvements, but still there's a number of players there that are not hitting the form that I expect them to, and I suppose most importantly then to the standards that they've set at this football club for themselves.
It makes you think then about where they are mentally then, because all the right things will be said. They as individuals say all the right things to people like me, don't they? But yet when they cross that whitewash, that's not shown in the performances. Yeah,
that's right. There's inconsistent performances from quite a lot of the players, and I think that's a fair criticism to the players from myself, and I have said that to them, and yeah, that is the challenge. That's the challenge that they have to accept, and to cement a place in this team. You put together a squad. I think there's different situations in terms of the younger players going into situations that maybe they're not ready for. So some of the experienced players have to get on with it. I don't want to be making all these changes all the time. And as you've seen through our injury list, we've been quite unfortunate having to do that, but I just want consistent footballers that are giving me and giving the football club a 7 or an 8 out of 10. And if that happens, then that's great. And they have to hit the ground running as well. There's an opportunity, you have to take it. You can't look and say I want to run in the team. I need 4, 5, and 6 games to get me up to speed. No, there's an opportunity, grab it, and then one less problem that the manager has.
I wonder if then that chat, I realise it not necessarily make too much of it, but the players have talked about the sit-down chat that was had after the Southampton performance, whether that might prove some kind of turning point then, because
they should be talking all the time, Andy. They should be talking all the time, because it's about their individual future and the immediate future of the football club. So if I was in that changing room as a player, I'd be talking about it all the time. When I get in the morning, over dinner, when I'm on a coach, in a hotel for an away game, they have, it's a responsibility from them, not just from me and my coaching staff. It's responsibility of them regarding what they need to do. I'm not surprised that they've had chats, and as I said, that they should be having that all the time, in my opinion.
But since then, of course, you've seen an upturn in performance, haven't you? It was good against Man U and good against Brighton in parts. So possibly then some kind of turning point.
Well, we're 1-1 with Leicester in the 90th minute. That's not a bad performance. The West Brom performance, apart from sticking the ball in the back of the net, was enough to win a game of football. I think in isolation, I'm not saying these performances this season have been out of the world and been 9 out of 10. But Southampton really upset and disappointed myself watching my team. It wasn't us. But I said afterwards that in the 4 years that I've been here, 4.5 years, in the first year we had a Southampton performance. In the second year, I remember we had Southampton performance. You scratch your head from where it comes from, but it does happen. So, at times you have to obviously react to that, which I did to the players. But you do get those performances. But we've talked, haven't we? How long have we talked about fine margins and not taking big moments and the situation and the difference between this year and last year, off the pitch, on the pitch. So whether it's a defining moment, I still think the previous games we've done enough to pick up points, and we should be a lot higher up in the table than what we are, and of course it is deeply disappointing where we are in terms of the points tally. But a reaction to that, which, as I said, in the previous 4 years, there has been a big reaction to one of those performances, and we've got a reaction. But no disrespect, playing a team in League One and having a poor performance, and then your next game an opportunity to put that right. In the Championship in the first year, in the Championship in the second year, is a little bit different to facing Man United at home. But as I talked about it, I wanted a reaction. You saw there, we got one, and obviously that we rolled that to Brighton, and we need to roll it into the Boxing Day clash against Everton.
And just finally then from me, what's your reading of them right now? They've had some excellent results in the league, haven't they? But they did have that dip. So where do you see them being at?
It's just an huge football club that's been in and around the top 10. I keep saying for years, and keep adding quality players and a really established top Premier League club that's attracted one of the best managers in world football. So for him to go there says something, tells a story. He's not going to go there and mess about in the window with recruitment. He's going to get some really good players to add some really good players that they've already had, and they've bought. Over the last sort of 5 years, what they've bought and had through the door is some world class players, and they've got that. They had a fabulous start. It happens in the Premier League. You lose a couple of tight games, and they've come roaring back. So as I just said in the previous interview, that the fixture list doesn't get any easier, and that is what we have to deal with in this division, and we've got to go and deal with Everton head on. But us at the top of our game or producing a big performance can get us a result in this game, and the players know that. The players, as I talked about, last year Newcastle away down to 10 men, 3-0. Manchester United away where they were all over us last year, and then we came roaring back with those wins to turn it round and turn those couple of defeats round into the wins that we had against Chelsea, Spurs and Wolves. So they know they can do it, but we've all done. We can talk all day about what they have done and the fine margins and the injuries and Bramall Lane supporters not being there. But we have to get on with it, and we have to produce a big performance and try and get a big result.